Hey, what's up? I'm going to share with you a flip where I almost lost $80,000. I'm going to show you the before and after of this flip and also break down all the numbers. Make sure you watch until the very end because I'm going to share with you the mistakes that I've made and the lessons I've learned. For those of you who are new to the channel, I'm a house flipper in the San Francisco Bay Area. I've been in business for about 3 years now and I've flipped a total of 20 houses so far. I hope this channel can provide you all the information you need to get started in real estate investing. If you are interested in real estate investing, subscribe to the channel so you are not going to miss out on future content. The house is in the Cambrian neighborhood in San Jose. I bought it back in August 2018 and the purchase price was $900,000. I got this deal directly from the listing agent off market. If you are wondering how I get deals off market at a discounted price, check out this video. The seller was a young guy who's in his 20s. He just inherited this house, but he didn't want to put any work to it or dealing with the hassle to have to put it on the market for sale. He wanted to move to San Diego, and it was important for him to have a very long rent back so he could take the time to look for the next house and also not have to stress out about the move. Every time I get a lead, the first step is to analyze the deal. If you want to learn to analyze a flip, check out this video. Back in August 2018, my estimated after repair value was $1.2 million. I actually just sold another house in the same neighborhood for $1.25, so I know the area pretty well. My estimated rehab cost was $80,000, and the estimated hold time would be 4 months from the close of purchase to the close of sale. Based on these numbers, the estimated profit would be $120,000, and it looked like a pretty good deal to me. Even if I offered the seller a 3 months rent back, my financing cost would be a little higher, but the profit would still be well over $100,000. So I decided to go for the deal. The seller accepted my offer at $900,000 with a 3 months rent back. Now let's check out what the house looked like when I purchased it. This 1,100 square foot house was built in 1961 and it has 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. If you are not familiar with the Bay Area market, this house may seem small to you, but it's actually a common configuration for homes in the area. The house has some traditional elements to it, like the scalloped fascia board and the dated garage door. With the neglected landscaping, the house looks kind of sad. The living room has 2 different pastel wall colors, reddish laminate floors, and it feels dark. The small galley kitchen has dated dark cabinets and plywood countertops. The guest bathroom has linoleum floors, old school shower enclosure, and dated fixtures. The colored walls make the bedrooms look dark and small. The master bathroom is very dirty and has a tiny shower that could be expanded. So the house definitely needs some updating, but I was pretty excited about it because I thought I got a great deal. Then I realized my first mistake on this flip, the long rent back. From August 2018 to November 2018, it was a pretty rough 3 months in the Bay Area housing market. Home prices were dropping throughout the whole rent back. So by the time I took the home over in November, I knew the $100,000 profit margin was pretty much gone. If the market continues to drop, I could lose money on the deal. So I was thinking, instead of doing a full-on remodel, I might as well scale back the scope of work and try to do minimum work, put the house back on the market as soon as possible. So instead of spending $80,000 on the remodel, we spent only $50,000. So let's see what the house looked like after the remodel. We painted the exterior a neutral gray, replaced the garage door and installed sod and small plants to freshen up the curb appeal. In the living room, we painted the walls a trendy light gray color but didn't replace the reddish floors to save cost. For the kitchen, instead of replacing the original cabinets, we only painted them white. You can see that the cabinets are very old and some of them had gaps. We put in marble countertops and replaced the cabinet pulls. In the guest bath, we reglazed the shower enclosure instead of replacing it. We saved a lot of money here. The bathroom looked clean but still a little dated. In the bedrooms, we installed new carpet and painted the walls. They came out nice and cozy. The master bathroom was fully remodeled. The new shower tiles with the stone accent looked very clean and modern. So as soon as the holiday season passed, we listed the house for sale in the beginning of 2019. The asking price was just under $1 million. And there are not a lot of houses for sale at that price in the neighborhood. So I was hoping by listing the house for a little bit below market price, we could get more interest and possibly bid up the price so I wouldn't have to lose money on the deal. But 1 week passed, and 2 weeks passed. We got no offers. If you're familiar with the Bay Area market, you probably know that there's more demand than supply, so new listings usually sell within the first couple weeks of being on the market. If your house doesn't sell within the first couple weeks being on the market, it usually means that your asking price is too high and buyers start to make lowball offers. After a month of waiting, we finally got an offer at $980,000, $20,000 below the asking price. I was freaking out because this low offer means I would lose $80,000 on the deal. I wasn't sure why the house was not selling even at such a low price, so I consulted a great agent who I work with. So I realized that the revised scope of work was at least part of the problem. The house was built in 1961, and the original kitchen cabinets are almost 60 years old. Painting the cabinets is like putting lipstick on a pig. Some cabinet doors had gaps, and the drawers didn't function very well. From the feedback we got on the house, I realized my third mistake: a school across the street. Even though it's just an elementary school, there's undesired traffic and noise. For the buyers who are not sending their kids to this school, it becomes a big negative for them. There was nothing we could do about the school, but it was a good lesson that I learned. And then the fourth mistake that I made was overlooking the neighbor's house. I don't know how it happened, but when I purchased this house, I never noticed how bad the neighbor's house looked. From this picture, you can see their garage door is boarded up. So they were living in the garage illegally. And many times, the neighbor just left unwanted furniture or trash on the curb, waiting for the city to pick it up. Many times before my open houses, I had to pay to have their trash hauled so that it wouldn't reflect poorly on my house. They also have a messy backyard that's full of trash. Many of my potential buyers probably saw it through the fence and got scared away. So my agent friend and I formed a plan to turn this project around. First of all, we had to talk to the neighbor and offer to remodel their house for free. We offered to put in a new garage door, repair the stucco that was never finished, and repaint the exterior of their house, all for free. It was quite an interesting experience because not only the neighbors were not grateful, they even made it harder for us. They were making demands on how the stucco work should be done and what type of materials they want used. I was annoyed by the situation, but I also felt grateful that they allowed me to remodel their house. Because if they rejected my offer to remodel their house, it could have been very hard for me to sell my house. After all the work, the neighbor's house looked a lot more presentable. While we were fixing up the neighbor's house, we also did a lot of work on my house. We put in a whole new kitchen and made an opening between the kitchen and the living space. We also replaced the floors in the living room with modern and neutral laminate floors. The old wall heaters were replaced with central heating. We also tiled the guest bathroom shower with beautiful accent. After all this work was done, we put the house back on the market in April. We had a lot more interested buyers this time and finally sold the house for $1.1 million. So the final numbers on the house. We spent an additional $30,000 on the rehab, so the total rehab cost was $80,000. With the additional 3 months, the total hold time on the project was 9 months. It was the longest flip I've ever done. After all this time, with all the work that was done to my house and the neighbor's house and all the stress, I made $0 on the flip. But compared to the potential outcome of losing $80,000, I was very happy to just break even. Even though I didn't make any money on the flip, I've learned so much. Lesson number 1, don't offer long rent backs unless you have enough buffer in the margin to offset potential market decline. After this flip, I used worst-case scenario to analyze a flip. For example, if the estimated project hold time is 4 months, how much could the market decline in 4 months' time? If the answer is 15%, then I would budget at least a 15% margin on my flip. So even if the worst case scenario of market decline happens, I can still at least break even. Lesson number 2, be very careful with scope of work. When the market starts to decline, fixer-uppers tend to move slower because buyers can afford houses in better condition with their money. Also, whether you can scale back the scope of work depends on the condition of the house. If the kitchen cabinets are too old, they probably won't look very good even after a fresh coat of paint. Lesson number 3, adjust the after repair value if there's anything unusual about the house. In this case, the school right across the street is undesirable to buyers. This is similar to houses on busy streets or close to commercial buildings. They are all undesirable. Lesson number 4, pay attention to the neighborhood, especially the immediate neighbors. If the neighbor's house looks like the neighborhood crack house, it can really scare away your future buyers. I've learned so many valuable lessons from this deal and also decided to change my company slogan to, we improve neighborhoods 2 houses at a time. This is a deal analyzer that I use to analyze deals. If you want a copy of it, comment below with your email address so I can send it to you. If you enjoy the content, hit the like button below and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.